All right, what we're doing right here, we're gonna build us a little area to put our garbage cans all the time. Opposed to just sitting on the grass. But I'm also gonna make it, I'm gonna make a drain into the concrete to drain the water, opposed to just dripping in and it'd be a big puddle of water. I'm gonna make a nice groove in the concrete to have the water run off 4 feet away from the house.
So now you're even it out, Bobby?
All right, right now, we done leveled everything out. What I'm doing right now is just putting down a weed killer. After I put the weed killer, then I'll put the plastic. Remember, you always want to put plastic down before you put your concrete, because if you don't, the ground acts like a moisture, making the ground makes the concrete acts like a sponge, and it soaks up. It takes longer for that concrete to dry, for one thing. And the other thing, it don't make it as solid as it could be because it's constantly getting moisture from the ground. So that's the reason you put the plastic. Now, there's some pretty strong weed killer that I put in here. It's got Clorox mixed with it to kill the grass, plus the weed killer. So I'm gonna put the plastic, and I'm gonna leave this alone for now. I'm gonna do the concrete later because this stuff is real strong. Start having my nose dripping and all that. It's essentially a poison. Family, what we're doing here today is making a pad for our garbage cans, opposed to that ugly look when you keep putting your garbage cans over by your grass, it burns the grass up. That look like this right here. Yeah, that look there. So instead we're doing this here. And what we're doing, we're not just making a pad for the garbage, but we're gonna pitch it. So when it rains, it goes that way. But then I'm gonna do a little extra pitching. I'm gonna make a little funnel way. You'll see the end results, where the rain runs like 7 feet away from the house. We want the water away from the house. And as always, I'm always with my loyal leveler. So, bubbles in the middle. We want that pitch. I'm gonna get a nice pitch on this one. I got like an extreme pitch on this one. See how that bubble is more to that way? Which means this right here will be level. You see where that bubble's at? So that water, we want that water running way away from the house. Come over this other side, the same thing. Pitched away. And right here, it is level all the way through. In the middle, I know you can't see it from there, but I'm just trying to hurry up with this done. All the way down here, that bubble is right there. Okay, well, this one can come down a little bit more. So let's get that right. And that's it. Let's get to this concrete. Time to pour. All right, y'all, just to give you a little story. We started our first pour. I'm just mixing this by hand. It's only a small, it's a 7 by 4 feet pad for my garbage pails. Doing concrete is very simple. Y'all have heard me say this many times before. I'll say it again. I hope I'm helping or making it sink in someone's head. Do your own work. Try to stay away from these overpriced scam artist excuse making contractors. Concrete is very easy to do. You could do it yourself. It's just mixing water. Take a little time mixing it up. If you want to do the dry pour, that's another way to do it. You got more time to play with. Just watch the weather, as I said before in previous videos. But I tell you, like I said, I'm doing it by hand, but as you can see, we got the mixer right there. That's when I had the big jobs, such as that patio, 2 other patios over there. Now that I needed the mixer. I know some would say, why didn't you just get a truck? Because I'm doing it at my own leisure. Hey, let me tell you something. I remember the very first time I did concrete. Actually, I didn't do it. I was at the local Home Depot. This is in Jersey. I was at the Home Depot and I was planning to do a really big pad. I had a shed in the backyard and I was like, I'm gonna do it myself. We had our own home. And I was like, man, I'm not gonna keep paying contractors. I can learn how to do this stuff. And this is exactly how I first started doing concrete. I was in there and I had loaded up some bags on on my cart. Never did concrete a day in my life. And I was in there like this. I was in the Home Depot reading the back of the bag. Like a lot of y'all would probably do. I was reading the back of the bag like, all right, so it says for the projects requiring multiple bags, mechanic mixer is recommended. Oh, do I need to get a mixer? Oh man, it says I need to do this and I need to do that and I was so confused. And another gentleman seen me. That was a cool thing about good people. Sometimes you run into actual good people. And that's what I'm trying to do right here. Hopefully encourage yourself to do your own work. But this guy seen me. And he seen how intent I was with the instructions, which clearly would tell somebody, this guy must not know what he's doing, because all it takes is water. Just mix water and you just mix it up to a fine consistency. But I was like this, like I was back in mathematics class. I was in geometry. I was in trigonometry. I was like, all right, now it says I got a, and then the guy said, he said, yo, my man, what's up? What you doing there? I said, oh, I'm getting some concrete, but he said, you ever did concrete before? I said, nah. He said, I could tell, man, the way you so intent with reading these instructions. He said, man, forget them instructions. He said, listen, all you gotta do is just mix it with some water. He said, you got a big pill? Something like this. He said, you got a big pill? I was like, what you mean, big pill? I was clueless. I was like, I didn't know what a pill was. I said, what you mean, big pill? He said, like a big bucket or something. I said, oh yeah. He said, that's all you need, man. Pour it in there, you put some water in it until it's a nice thick consistency. I said, yeah, but the instructions, he said, man, forget them instructions. And then I said, yeah, but I never did it before. He said, it's real easy, man. He said, look, this is all you gotta do, this. And then I said, hey, my man, how about I pay you, man? Could I pay you to do it and you show me? He said, well, I got a job right now. I said, yo, my man, I said, I only live around the corner. I said, I give you $150. I said, I give you $150. Now, this was many, many years ago. He said, all right. As soon as you know how the old saying, they say money talks. I said, $150. He said, how big a pad you doing? I was doing a pad pretty much like this. Actually, it was a little less wider. So I told him, I said, I'm doing a pad about 6 feet long and 3 feet wide. He said, oh, that's not, man. I thought you were talking about doing, he said, so you willing to pay me $150? I said, yeah, man. I said, definitely. I said, I'll pay you right now. He said, come on, let's get in the car. And we went over there, and sure enough, the dude mixed the stuff up right in front of me, poured the stuff, I paid the dude, and he was on the way. And the whole time I was watching him, I said, this stuff is easy. So like I said, a lot of y'all, learn to do your own work. Watch videos like this. Buy the books if you have to. Other times I put the charts down to show you how strong the concrete can get. Concrete gets stronger every day. And if you want it up to 99% strong, that take about a month. But yo, that's how I started getting into concrete. There was another gentleman that took his time out of his schedule and helped me out. Of course, I paid him. That's how I learned how to do concrete. And so can you. You don't gotta pay these contractors. All they do they want your money, get over, show up late, show up with excuses. And sometimes, how many times we've seen people do horrible work and they still want to get paid? I encourage y'all, do your own work. You'll be even more proud to look at your work and say, I did that, meaning you. I did it. All right. To the nitty-gritty. Another thing to do when you're doing stuff like this, put yourself a perimeter of the bags. Remember, I try to say use everything. Put yourself a perimeter of the bags where you step on, because otherwise you're essentially stepping in concrete on your untreated property, such as your grass or the other concrete. So give yourself something to step on so you don't make such a mess. Like I said, concrete is real easy to do, folks. You can do a lot of this stuff yourself. You do not have to always call these contractors just so they can rip you off. Do it yourself. You'll be very pleased with your own work. You say, wow, you did that. All right, folks, so concrete is finished. But remember what I told you, I'm going to do a little drain gutter thing to come through. Just simply put this in there, smooth it out, grind it in there along the edge, and now the water comes right down and you make yourself made gutter drain. So I'll slide this right in there. Made it the width of it. So obviously, I'm gonna have to take some concrete away. And obviously, I got a pitch. gotta take some concrete away. Heavy down this end. Simply smooth it out. I'm gonna take some more concrete away. Have it even better. Just smooth it out. Right here. There's your groove. But I think I want to make it a little bit more deeper. So I'm gonna actually take some concrete out of here. All right, almost dry. We're gonna broom it, and we're gonna do this. But I'm gonna do this first. I'm gonna go back and broom it, and go over it again. But this is still kind of soft. My wife should be doing this. She be like this. It's like, yo, just run through it. Just run through it. Gotta clown her every now and then. Just run through it. Run right through it. It's gonna be a mess when you're doing it, but that's why you go back to it. Just run right through it. Run right through it. Then you go back over it and you smooth it out. Once you run through it, then you go back. You worry about. I think that's what you was doing, but you be like, then you're gonna mess it up. It don't matter if you mess it up. When you mess it up, see, like this is a mess. Run through it. Then once you run through it, now you go back. That's it. And then you start smoothing it out. It'll smooth out every time.
Nah, you just act like you're a pro.
Yeah.
A pro.
That make you feel good.
That's okay.
All right, that's it. All right, so this is a finished product. We broomed it. As you see, we did our edges. We got that in there. That's going to be our drainage. We're going to pull this up. I'm going to do one last step on it. I'm going to make sure it's smooth, nice and smooth. I wrenched my feet off already. Want that pitch really nice in there. I have a nice, smooth finish. Probably should wait. So you're not going to just pick this up because you'll mess up the concrete. What you want to do, you want to spin it, and then gradually pick it up. So that's what I'm going to spin it. As you spin it, then you just kind of gradually pick it up. Look at it. You got your drainage. This up without making a mess. Yeah, there's your drain. Come over this way, you see it better. Now I'm gonna wait till that dry a little bit more, and then I'll take a nice a piece of that PVC and I'll smooth it out. All right, as you can see, once you start grinding, you get it a little bit more smoother. So see, as I come here, you'll see, I gotta go down. So it'll start to smooth out. All right, so as we're doing it, give you a little challenge because this gate is in the way. I can't get on that side. I'm up here walking a tight rope trying to get this. But just keep it wet, not wet, but damp. And then you can get a nice smooth and lift this part up. That way it ain't picking up. And then you get your smooth finish. See there? Look at that. So that's gonna get out of the sun way. Just keep it a little damp. And you get that nice smooth. Clean that up at the end. Dump that. Smooth that out. You have to go the other way, you lift up that way. The way you're finishing, you lift up the other way. So if I'm going that way, lift that way up and let this drag. And we'll give you, see how I give you that smooth surface? So I'm coming this way, so lift this side up. And that's how you get that smooth surface. All right, y'all, so this is 100% the complete job. Now my wife gonna spray. This is painted. And see why it's painted? The water comes down even more smoother. Look at that. Water comes down nice. That we call a homemade cement trench drain. It's just 7 feet away from the house. There you go. That's cool enough, babe. All right. Another close up. Look at that. Looks nice, doesn't it?